on the wire right now, we have Mr. Justin Pearson, most notably of The Locusts. Now, Justin, I've always had this belief that in order to fully understand an artist's work, you have to understand that artist's background. With that being said now, I'd like to get a little bit into your background, your childhood, and if you don't mind talking about the loss of your father.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I guess I just grew up in like sort of like this crummy white trash scenario, and then at some point when I was 12, my father was killed. It's kind of weird. He was murdered in our driveway in Phoenix where I lived, and then that got me to move out to San Diego. My mom moved us out here, and then I think by like turn of events, I mean, it was kind of weird because before he died, I was already into music and like into like punk music or whatever, and like you know, my dad was always like, you're gonna, you know, become a junkie or whatever. Like, you kind of like have this like poster child idea of Sid Vicious, and that was like what punk was, and so I think like that aspect that like it was like not acceptable kind of like was appealing to me because I didn't really have a lot of respect for my parents at that point. They were both alcoholics, and then essentially they both like were just a bit self-destructive. Like they both cheated on each other and stuff like that. And I think that like at that point, like neither of them really like were very good parents or whatever. And so I think I ended up like stumbling upon punk and sort of utilizing like the ethics of that to kind of like
Deal with your situation.
Yeah, or like to actually like maybe raise me essentially. But with all that being said, like my mom and I have a fantastic relationship now. She's a fantastic woman. But at that point, it was just, I think that was like kind of what like steered me down that direction. And like, you know, I just was like super drawn towards like punk and like punk ethics and just like sort of like, I don't know, I mean, I guess like subconsciously, like for like a 12-year-old up to like maybe 16 or 17, I was just like drawn towards this stuff that was like, you know, kind of crazy or whatever. And I think I was fortunate enough to like be drawn towards like the more, I guess like the less nihilistic like punk kind of bands, you know, like the more like socially conscious bands and stuff, which really what drew me to like. It drew me into music, I guess.
Okay. And do you think that the loss of your father at such an early age and in such a violent manner had any effect on your ideas of the world or the influence of your music?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I think it's, yeah, sure. I think essentially like the world that a person lives in is a reflection of the art they create. And I mean, for me, like, I don't know. I never have, and I don't know if I could like sit down and write like cute or like pretty music. I mean, it's just not that I like that stuff. I listen to a lot of that, but like I'm drawn towards I guess the more, like I guess, you know, I'm a realist. I'm drawn towards like, even like the less abrasive music. Like I would rather sit down and listen to like, you know, Leonard Cohen or something that's still gonna have like a dark edge to it, you know, because I think I can relate to it more. The message means more to me, and it's like, I don't know, it's weird, because I'm not like a negative person or anything. I think that those things just speak to me, I guess. I mean, I'm aware of like the injustices in the world, be it like, you know, at home or abroad, like, you know, anything from like situations in like third world countries or the economic situations in, you know, and like that people face, or, you know, I don't know, it's like kind of anything really, but like, yeah, I mean, I think that like, I'm definitely drawn towards like this more like harsher reality of music when it has like a message.
You know, now that we got the heavy shit out of the way, I want to get into the music a little bit. What I want to do is I'm going to go down a list of all the bands you've been in real quick, and I want you to spit out the first word or phrase that pops into your head, and we'll knock this part out real quick, all right?
Sure.
All right, man, Struggle.
I don't know, I was young. Let's leave it at that.
Young. Swing Kids.
That's a weird one too, because we just played this benefit reunion thing. I don't know, it's so hard to just give it one. Normally, I think you can go into more depth if you feel like it. Normally, I would say that I think we were all pretty naive with that band, and I think musically we were all really naive. But now that like we just played and it was like it kind of had like a bigger impact. I mean, I'm gonna say that I don't think the music holds up very well, but I think like it made an impact, and I can appreciate that, and I'll respect that and acknowledge that. But I know that was a weird thing too, because the loss of my friend Eric, who was in that band, just really like kind of made things. It just affected me, just like losing like a family member. I mean, it was just like this pretty weird thing. So I mean, it's hard to like sum that one up in a nutshell, I think.
The Crimson Curse.
That was a definite joke.
Definite joke. Perfect. Holy Molar, who I actually just had Mr. Mark McCoy on the show.
Well, that was kind of like, at least for the Locusts in that band, it was like, that was like an avenue to do all the things that we couldn't do in the Locusts, like all the really stupid shit we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was, I guess if you want a one word, I would say absurdity. Absurdity.
Okay, Some Girls.
I don't know. Thinking Man's Black Flag.
Thinking Man's Black Flag. Head Wound City.
Ooh. Radical Friends.
Radical Friends. Bastard Noise. You weren't exactly in that band, but I know you provided some vocals on some tracks, huh?
Yeah, that's something that I wish I was able. I was asked to join the band. I think that by like common ties through our musical history and stuff, and everyone's resumes, it would have been awesome. But unfortunately, I think that like my artistic way of writing and stuff kind of conflicted with them, and then I think that like all those guys are like they have a certain way of running like the band, and I have another certain way, and I think it was just like kind of weird to jump into that. Like my ethics didn't really mesh with them necessarily, like playing age-restricted shows and like just the way that the band kind of functioned. But also I felt like I was supposed to be the singer of the new like lineup of the band, and I think that I wasn't able to sing like seriously or metaphorically like they wanted. Like I have like a style of my writing, and I think that like they had a style like their writing. Sort of like expectations,
Now the two most current bands you're involved in are obviously the Locusts and your latest project, All Leather. What's up with the All Leather gig?
Well, we just did an EP, and it's about to come out on my friend Steve's label. It's a label called Didmac, and then I don't know. I've been kind of like doing that a lot. Like we've been playing out live and recording an LP because the Locust is just like kind of taking it easy, and we're working on writing a record. So we have like a little bit more free time, I guess, to do other things. So yeah, I've just been working on stuff with All Other, and it's just. I mean, it's sort of loosely based on like electronic music. There's a lot of like different elements of electronic music. Our drummer has an electronic kit, and I think the instrumentation is all like treated with tons of effects, so everything sounds like synthetic.